Hello everybody, my name is Jonathan and welcome to Bearly Unboxed. Today is Monday and we're starting a series that I'm calling MotU Mondays, where I will be opening Masters of the Universe, MotU, Origins figures. And today I have a couple of the new cartoon collection. We have Skeletor, and we have a Man-at-Arms. And I did find these both at Target on separate visits, but it was actually the same Target, and I haven't seen them at any of the other Targets that I go to when I go toy hunting. But I was very happy to see these. There are 4 of them in this cartoon collection. So there's also Beastman and He-Man, which I would like to pick up both of these. And these are really cool because they come with accessories. Like Skeletor comes with these 2 masks, and they were featured in as seen on Masks of Power, and you can actually have him wear the masks, so that's pretty cool. And he comes with a comic book. Both of them come with the same comic book, because usually every collection series, like, I don't know if you want to call it a series 1 of the cartoon collection, but they'll all have the same comic book. So Man-at-Arms comes with this part right here, which is known as the stasis ray, and that was featured in the Dragon Invasion episode. It's just really cool how they've come out with figures that are including things from the actual cartoon, and they even make them look like the way they do in the cartoon. Although I will say the Skeletor looks a little weird to me. He has a different face than I'm used to, but I will say Man-at-Arms looks really cool. So we have those 2 to open, but we also have this Sunman and the Rulers of the Sun box set of 3 figures. This was a Target exclusive, and I did pick this up on clearance from Target fairly recently. Target has been clearancing out so many toys in the action figures, the dolls, just everywhere. I don't see these anymore at the Targets recently, but it was within the past month that I picked this up. So your Target may still have this. And I was really wanting to get it because the Sunman figures, and you can see on the back, it shows like all the Sunman characters, which is really cool, including their villain, the pig guy. I honestly can't remember his name off the top of my head. I think it's like Pighead, I think. So Sunman and the Rulers of the Sun was created by Yla Eason, who... her son was 3 years old and watching He-Man in the Masters of the Universe cartoon. And he said to her that he can't be He-Man because he wasn't white. So she set out to create a whole line of figures that were in the same style and scale as He-Man figures were. And this was in the early 1980s. And Sunman, who is shown here on the back, in the middle here, he was the main character. And if you notice, most of the characters are people of color, with the exception of like this guy right here. I'm not sure, but I know like every character was different. Like this one was a Native American character, and then there was a lot of black characters. And it really gave her kid and other kids like him the opportunity to feel seen and included in the world of action figures. And oddly enough, Mattel reached out to Yla Eason and asked her, we would really like to add Sunman and the Rulers of the Sun to Masters of the Universe officially, which I think is amazing. I mean, could you imagine being her and being approached by Mattel, the company that you actually were like a competitor for, and just be included. It's such an awesome story, and there's actually a video. I'll put a link to it down below, and it was Pixel Dan, who's very well known for his Masters of the Universe love, and he's always sharing Masters of the Universe related content. He had an interview with her, and it's a really great video. I watched it when it first came out, so I'll put a link to that so you can check it out too. So we are looking at these today. I'm very excited. I really like this guy here in the middle, Holographo. He has a beard. It's really cool. So I think we will actually start out with the Sunman figures, and then we'll proceed with our cartoon collection. So let me get them out of the box. But before I get it out of the box, here is the barcode. And you'll see it does say it has 3 figures and 17 accessories. So that's quite a lot. And I'll give you one last look at the back. It does have something you can read if you want to pause the video. And also it talks about how to play with the toys. Alright, so now let's get this out of the box. So I got them out of the box, but before we look at them, I wanted to show off these amazing, gigantic trading cards that they gave with each one of them. And on the back, it has their name and their abilities and a little blurb about them. So that would be Zap-Man. And then we have Kick-Toe. And there is the back of his card. It's very cool. He's an expert kickboxer. And then Holographo is a futuristic scientist. And there is a little blurb about him. And I didn't say, but Zap-Man is a micro laser specialist. I love it. These are so cool. I initially thought these were comic books, but they're just cardboard cards, like collectible cards. Alright, so we are going to first look at Zap-Man. And here is Zap-Man. He is a very unique face. I love all the faces for these Sunman figures are very unique. And even just with the Origins series in general, all the faces for all the characters are very specific and very unique. So he comes with a helmet and these 2 wrist gauntlet things, which you can see in the artwork where he wears those. So very helpful for placement. But real quick, so the articulation for all these Origins figures is going to be pretty much the same. They have a ball jointed head, and all of the parts on these are removable, very easily to remove too. They're modular, so you can mix and match the parts and pieces from any figure to create your own characters. It's actually a really cool idea. So he also has a ball jointed shoulder, and he has an elbow which doesn't bend very much. It only bends a little bit. He does have wrist articulation, and he has waist articulation, and on the thigh, or I should say the leg, and then the knee, and then the feet are on like a swivel, and even the ankle will turn. So like you can get some really nice poses with them. So let's get his helmet on. Let's see if we can get it on straight. So there's that. And then these go around his wrists. They look like they have a very specific way of going. So like that. So there he is with all of his gear on. Very cool. what I love about the Origins figures is how much they remind me of the original figures, but give you that little extra play value with the articulation and the ability to swap parts. Is so much fun. So he also has this armor piece on, which does can come off. It's held on right here with these little plastic tabs. And a lot of the figures have that, and it gives them the ability to give them like a different look as opposed to just the same body. Because all the figures pretty much have the same body type, just different parts and pieces here and there. So there is Zap-Man. And then next we will take a look at Kicto. There's Kicto's card. And we're just going to use our cartoon collection to prop all those up. So I really like the head sculpt on this Kicto. I think it looks really cool. He has like the flat top, and he has all the same articulation. Now he has this clip-on body piece right here, and then he also has these star like saw blades on his wrists. And he also comes with a knife, which is interesting. So there's his knife. So he can hold that, because all these figures have a gripping hand. And then he has these leg like bracers, which I think just go over the knee. Yeah. So those go on his legs just like that. And there oh, that one doesn't want to stay on. Do I have it on wrong? Let's see. Maybe they go up higher. I think that might be part of the problem. Oh, and I have this one on upside down. There we go. So there you have it with all of his gear on, and then these come off, and apparently you can put them inside that. I'm not really sure what the point of that is, but that's what they show you on the box. So alright, we'll get him to stand up here. And I really just love the Origins figures. I've been collecting them for a while, and I haven't done many videos because so many other people do videos, and probably far better than I do. I tend to do a lot of Marvel Legends and doll related videos, especially Rainbow High and Monster High. So if you like those as well, stick around for some other videos. Check out my playlists. Alright, so next we're going to take a look at Holographo. And I'll just put his card in the middle here. Alright, and he's cool. He has like this lenticular, like holographic piece on the front of him. It's just part of the armor, and the armor is removable. It does have the part right here where you can unstrap it, and he comes with this really interesting like samurai kind of sword, and it has like the same pattern that was on his hologram on both sides of the like hilt of that. And then you can put that in his hand, and there he goes. I really like the colors on him. That teal and like kind of orangey red look really cool together. And he has a really cool face. I really love that head sculpt so much. So cool. Alright, so there we have the 3 Sunman characters. So you'll have to leave a comment and tell me which one of these 3 is your favorite. And if you don't remember their names, that's okay. You can just say which color you liked. Alright, so next we are going to take a look at these two new cartoon collection. I'm really excited for these cartoon collection. I actually have both of these already in their like normal Origins version. I haven't actually unboxed the original of him, but I do have a Skeletor original. But I'm still going to add these to my collection, even though I already have a Skeletor. So let's take a look at Man-at-Arms first. Here is his barcode. And I'll let you take in the back of this. A lot of the times it'll say this on the back, twist into powerful battle positions. And I will say the Sunman ones did not seem to come with a comic book, just the trading cards. So that's kind of interesting, because everything else usually comes with the comic book. Alright, so let's get Man-at-Arms out of his packaging and we'll take a look. Alright, so we got him out of the packaging, and I wanted to show you real quick. All of the figures tend to come with this part that shows you all the different removable parts. So they obviously don't recommend like taking the knees apart. That's the one difference. Or the elbows. You don't have a point of removable part there. So here's the comic book that he came with, called Wizard's Vizard. And on the back of these comic books, it'll show you all the figures in the collection. So each one of these will come with the same comic book. I have heard, and I'm not sure how true it is, that sometimes you can find a different comic book, or at least a different cover for the comic book within the packaging. I've never seen that myself. So, but it has a full story, fully drawn and illustrated, and with lots of things to read. Some of the comics don't have a lot to read in them, but this one has quite a bit. And it's just a really short, quick story that usually involves all four of the figures from the line. Alright, so here we have Man-at-Arms. I really love the way they did these figures. The color palette is so nice. It's very much like the cartoon. And then he'll have the same articulation as the Rulers of the Sun. And then he also has this removable back piece. So that just pops off. And then you can take that off and you basically have a different looking figure. You can use that to your advantage to create your own characters. Now, I really love the way they did his face. It's so well done. Very, very cool. So he comes with his like very lollipop looking weapon. I always thought these looked like those suckers. I can't remember the name of them, but they're shaped like this and they're like a sweet tart. I love those suckers. I haven't had one in so long. So there he is holding his weapon. So he's ready to battle. But he also comes with the stasis ray, which he can hold in both hands. Just like that. So that's pretty cool. And I love how this one has the beard, or not the beard, but the mustache. But I think my other one of him does not. So I can use it more as like one of his guardsmen that are part of his guard, part of his army or whatever, brigade. I'm not sure what the proper term is. All right, so there we have Man-at-Arms, and you can see they're all the same scale. So like you can use these figures all together. That's what makes these Sunman figures so cool. It's just so good to have that inclusion, because there weren't a lot of characters in He-Man that were people of color. So it's so awesome that they're now part of everything. Alright, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. So here is Skeletor's barcode and the back of his packaging. And front. And it always says something up here under their name, like it says Evil Lord of Destruction, and Man-at-Arms said Heroic Master of Weapons. So, alright, so we got Skeletor out of his packaging. He came with the same comic book, so no need to really look at that. But his paper is actually portraying him, because they have to give you a different paper for each figure, because sometimes the removable parts aren't the same. So I really love these little pieces of paper. I usually keep them and just put them inside the comic book. That way I know which comic book went with who, although it doesn't really matter. I'm just like that. All right. So here is Skeletor. He has the little pointed part on the top, which the original one did not have. It's just rounded. And there is his skeleton face. Be really, really cool if that glowed in the dark, but I doubt that that's something they did with this. Yeah. Nope, no glow in the dark. I'm always a sucker for glow in the dark when they do it, though. So he has the removable harness and the removable belt. Now, to take the belt off, you have to take the waist apart. So you have to go like this to get the belt off. And see how easy that pops off? It's amazing how easy it is to take these apart. So he comes with a lot of accessories. He comes with his purple version of the Master Sword. So he can hold that in one hand. And he comes with a really cool version of his staff. Normally it's all one color, it's all purple, but this one has a gray ram head on the top instead of it just being purple. This is amazing. This is a really, really nice piece to have, because you can even give that to a different Skeletor if you wanted to. So he can hold that in the other hand. I love it when a action figure can hold all of their accessories. Now, he does also come with these masks, and he can either, maybe he can hold those in his hand. So he can kind of hold them in his hand, but these are meant to go on his head. So you can swap the head out and give him one of the other masks. And I can't remember specifically, but in the cartoon, each of these masks, I think, gave him different powers, I want to say. All right, here's the other one. And those just pop on so easily. I love it. And you still get the full range of motion, even with those. So very cool. But I'm going to give him back his original head. And just because I have it readily available, I'm going to bring over my original Skeletor. And they actually came out, I believe, with two versions of Skeletor and He-Man when the series was first coming out, because people weren't quite happy with the way they made their faces look. So Mattel actually listened, and they re-released them with different head sculpts. It's amazing when a toy company actually listens and gives you what you want. And that's something Mattel, especially with the He-Man line of figures, has done. So here is the other Skeletor, the original Skeletor, compared to the cartoon collection. Very different. So this one was supposed to look more like the toy version. Now, he doesn't have the little point on the top of his head. It's actually molded on to the back, like it's flopped down. And he can hold his sword in the back of his harness, which I'm not sure if this one can do that. We'll try it. And also the belt on this one can be taken off without removing the waist. You can see his staff is very different. It's even a different sculpt, different size and everything. Even a slightly different color of purple. Their skin tone is actually a different blue too. It's harder to see on camera, but the cartoon collection is a little more powder blue. So that's actually really cool to see how different these are. And I really like the face on this Skeletor. I believe this one was the second version, and I will try to find an original version, and I'll put a picture here in the video so you can see what I was talking about. And then, of course, you know, he does have the sword. The swords are even different. So let me show you that. So the swords are different length, different color, different sculpt. So that's pretty cool. So it's almost like you're getting a completely new figure. Especially the legs on these have the monster feet on the original version, which I really love the monster feet. I think those are really fun. And he has the bat kind of logo, which is very Horde, like Hordak. So very cool to see how different these figures are. And he actually has a hand that cannot hold a weapon, so that's why I have the sword in his back. You can take this head off and you can put on that head on this one. So that's how modular these figures are. It obviously isn't the same purple, so, but let's put this one on here just for the heck of it. And there we go. So, pretty cool. And obviously you can put these mask heads also on the original figure as well. So, oh, his waist came right off. So that actually comes off pretty easily. I think it's just his neck peg is a little different or something. Alright, so there you have it. The cartoon collection and the Sunman figures. And we also took a look at our old Skeletor. So you'll have to let me know which one of these figures was your favorite from the cartoon collection, and which one was your favorite from the Sunman figures. So I'd love to hear from you. Maybe you're used to watching my other content, and maybe you're new here. So if you're new here, welcome. I hope you enjoy this series. This is the first of hopefully many Masters of the Universe videos that will always come out on Monday, because it's MotU Monday. So again, I want to just express my gratitude to everyone for their support and for watching my content and leaving comments. Thank you so much to everyone out there. And if you're not a subscriber, please do subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. You'll get notified every time I put a video up, which is pretty much every week at this point. Sometimes up to 3 videos a week. So thank you guys again for watching. Take care out there. Love you guys. Bye.